So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Z4 Games and I'm bringing to you guys another update to DDD. This is a build that I'm really enjoying at the moment. The combos that you can do now are just insane, and with the ban list just now fully out, luckily nothing in this deck has been touched. Unfortunately, Core Value Grade did not go up to 2, which I really hoped for, but we can't have everything. So before I get into this, I want to give a big shout out to Jacked Yugioh here on YouTube. The build and combo which I'm going to show you at the end is heavily inspired by his profile of DDD. So again, a big thanks and a shout out to him. But yes, it's really awesome, really good, and really powerful and very versatile. So with all that said and done, I want to, as always, if you enjoy this, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoyed person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. And all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this DDD deck profile post 2020 basically, thanks to the ban list. So let's start off with the monsters. As you saw, my deck is double sleeved now thanks to the new rules, so very nice. Like, I get to actually use these lovely DDD sleeves without them being damaged because they are double sleeved. And if you want to know what I'm doing, I'm basically just taking a classic traditional TCG sized oversized clear sleeve, and I'm just basically slotting my sleeves in them. That's the same thing that we do with our extra deck, except our extra deck is using the lovely KMC sleeves. I don't want to ruin these by shuffling them, so that's what I personally do. So, but you guys can obviously do what you want. Unfortunately, KMC's now, their sleeves are like £40, which is just insane, since I bought them all for like 5 to 8 quid each. But yes, sleeves out the way. DD Spell Slime, playing at 3. I'm going to run breeze through the basically DDD ratios, because if you've been a fan of this channel, a fan of DDD, they're basically all the same. 3 Swirl, 3 Necro, 3 Lamia, 3 Kepler, and 3 Copernicus. I think Copernicus at 3 is pretty much mandatory, because he is your 6 extra copies of Necro Slime, and on rare cases, if your hand plays it well, 3 extra copies of Lamia. So I like to play Copernicus at 3 because I basically have 6 ways to get have a Necro Slime. I play 2 Ragnarok in this build. 3 is just unnecessary now, which is it's still a bit sad. I believe I said that in my last program. It still is a bit sad to not have 3 Ragnarok anymore, but he just isn't needed. He's a bit of a brick in most cases, but in those odd cases where that hand is needed, Ragnarok can really help unbrick it and even make you go through your entire combo as per normal, just because Ragnarok is there to help you facilitate that. The last 2 DDs we're playing is the 1 Apocalypse and the 1 Ghost. I'll explain why these 2 are at 1. I'm tempted to bump Ghost to 2, but at the moment, 1 copy is working very well. For your hand trap, I'm actually playing a hand trap. I'm playing the Gamma package. Previously, as I was building this Gamma package, last ban list, pre the ban list, December ban list, Gamma was the strongest hand trap in the game. I'm going to have to take another look at what is possibly the best decks at the moment and see if Gamma is still that best of a card. If it isn't, this will basically be swapped out for that next hand trap, and then the driver will be, so this would be like the free hand trap that is the best to facilitate against the meta at the time, and then the driver would just be that extra card that I can slot in. But yes, that's our monsters at the moment. For spells, 3 gates and the 1 Swamp King for the contracts, pretty much standard engine, standard lineup, you know it all. 3 where after that is the 3 extra copies of Necro Slime and Lamia. I mostly search Lamia with this just because I can then just use my draw cards to draw into either Necro Slime or Copernicus, because there's basically 6 Necro Slimes in the deck, whereas there's only 3 Lamias that I personally, that's how I view it. So that's how I personally view that. For an additional search / summon is 1 for 1. I really hope that they will go up 2 to promote Sun Avalon, but my wish was not granted. And I'm playing the 1 copy of Jack in the Hand. You guys know how I'm feeling about Jack in the Hand. I'm a bit 50-50 on the card in terms of DDD specifically, because I'm never going to search Kepler with this. I'm never going to get a Kepler out of that, but you have to reveal Kepler because he is your 3rd level 1 in the deck. So it's a bit of an iffy. You're really going to be searching, getting a Lamia or a Necro Slime out of this. You're never really going to get Kepler. If you do get Kepler, then I don't know who you're facing, but I want to face them because no one's going to give me a Kepler. So there's that. I'm only playing the 1 Jack in the Hand just to give that an additional search in the deck. Is the next best searcher that we have. If 1 for 1 came to 2, I'd definitely swap out Jack in the Hand for that. 3 Allure of Darkness, just standard draw, and I'm actually playing 3 Desires in this deck. You just need that draw power, unfortunately. In this particular build, the draw power of 3 Desires is fine. You can drop it to 2 if you wish. I believe this is a 42 card deck. So if you're like me and you're 50-50 on 3 Desires, you can simply just take it and have a 41 card deck. The 41th card is a Upstart, which is pretty much the standard 41th card. It may find it a bit weird. I know some of you may find it weird and a bit pointless to play an Upstart in a 42 card deck, but the draw power is draw power. This is essentially any card in your deck because you just play this and you draw a card. Like, deck thinning and any way to get into your cards is fine, and anything like that is good. Worst case scenario, this is just going to be a side out card, same with the Desires. I'm just going to basically, these are 4 cards for my side deck, which is just great. 5th if I want to count the Jack in the Hand as well. Harpy's Feather Duster for the last 3 cards in deck. Harpy's Feather Duster, Call by Grave, and I'm actually playing Contract with the Witch again. This is a great searchable disruptor if you've already got the gate in hand off your Kepler. So you can go, if you already got the gate in hand, just play Kepler, search this, and then your field is not only bumped up with negates, but also disruption that boosts up one of those negates. That negate being Siegfried, because he is a fiend. Yeah, that's the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. So we're playing the 2 Genghis and the 1 High Flame King Genghis, the standard fusion lineup. I know some people are playing the Arc. I was toying around with the Arc, but in this particular build, the Arc had to be cut. 1 Formula Synchron, 1 Gus King Alexander, 1 Siegfried, 1 Crystal Ring, 1 Savage, 1 Satellite Warrior for the first lineup of Synchros. This is your standard Synchro lineup. You play this if you're playing a Satellite Warrior engine, which build which I am. I feel like is at the moment the better build against the Calamity. I know I jumped around. I know I was really praising the Calamity build, but in actual competition, the Calamity build is all show, no bite, because he misses timing, and any good duelist will make that Calamity miss timing, or if you're like me and you just played it wrong. But yes, Calamity can miss timing, and I think that's the worst bit about it. This does not, and being able to just wipe out 3 cards off your opponent's board after doing 2 negates and then getting a 3rd negate is just insane. It's the exact same combo as that King Calamity build, so your deck never really changed, except you just had to add in the 1 quote-unquote brick of the Apocalypse. So there's that. And then for the other engine which did not get hit on the ban list is these. This new little engine is just insane. Cocosaur gives you a draw. This is a macro walking cosmos that can revive itself, and both of these make this, which is basically says skip your opponent's turn. Doesn't miss timing, doesn't stop spells and traps like Calamity can, but stopping monsters is just enough at the moment. And King Calamity Calamities is just insane, and this deck can make it with just the same combo as your everything else, which is just busted. So I'm playing this. This did not get hit on the ban list. Basically, this did not get hit on the ban list. These wouldn't get hit on the ban list, but this didn't. I feel like even if this got hit, I'd probably still play this at the very least. This would definitely come out for something else. But yeah, it's insane, and you'll see the combo at the end. For links is Cross Sheep, Hackney Fibrax, and Gilgamesh. This did not get hit either, which is just great. I'm glad that Link Cross died, because I'd rather have a Link Cross dead than a Crystron dead. So that's the main deck and the extra deck. Let's zoom out and show you guys the the True King combo, which is basically your basic engine, which is just great. So let's start off with, let's just do this first. If you have these, you're going to do it all. So normal Kepler, grabs gate, play gate, grab Lamia. Up for a little bit. So basic fusion into a Genghis, which then you banish the Lamia. No, banish the Swirl, summon the Lamia, and then Lamia summons the Necro Slime. I'm going to move this down a little bit. There we go. That's all good. Synchro into Gust King. Link. Yeah, I know Kepler will go to the extra deck, but this is just much easier to show you this way. Make Cross Sheep. Banish Necro Slime and Genghis for the High Flame King Genghis, which triggers Gust King to revive Lamia. You then synchro these into Siegfried, which triggers Cross Sheep and triggers High Flame King Genghis. So High Flame Genghis revives Gust King, and then Cross Sheep revives Lamia. You then link these two off for Crystron Hackney Fibrax, and then Hackney Fibrax doesn't summon a Lamia but summons a ghost. No, it does. No, it doesn't summon the ghost. It summons the Lamia. That's what I meant to say. That's why you only play one ghost in the deck, because if you play Desires and banish the one ghost and your Apocalypse, you've got this entire play to fall upon. Like, you're already going to banish all of your Lamias, so that's not too much of an issue. If you do banish your... No, you do summon the ghost, because I'm stupid. Yeah. So if you do banish the ghost, like, off your Pot of Desires, your main DDD combo dies, in a way, but your, like, basically, because we're playing the Gammas, this play will always be alive. This play will always be alive because you have those extra level 2 tuners. So if Gamma isn't as strong as I was mentioning earlier, it kind of hurts because then I then have to play a weaker hand trap in the format just to make this combo largely more consistent in the deck, to counteract that Desires. But it's something that I have to be toyed around with. But basically, if your ghost is Spanish, you just summon your other, you'll just summon your Gamma. So this play is always fine. So you summon your ghost off the Crystron. From here, Lamia activates, sends your gate to grave, summons herself back. You now use Lamia and your High Flame King Genghis to make Ravenous Crocosaur. Crocosaur will draw you a card. And then you use your level 2 ghost with your level 7 Gust King to make QB, and then you overlay these into Calamities, and then that is your board. So what do you have out of your combo that makes it different to, or makes you think, why would I do this over the Satellite Warrior? Because it's basically the exact same thing, and you can just make the Satellite Warrior combo instead. So instead of getting your overall 3 negates and 3 pops, you're getting a detach from this to pass your opponent's turn, which gives you another Synchro Engrave. You have a Spell and Trap Negate in the forms of Siegfried, so if they want to try and imperm this or anything like that, you've got the Siegfried to stop it. And then you can still, if that's not enough, banish this, summon your Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron will draw another card from your deck. Bear in mind you drew off the Crocosaur, and then you synchro that into a Satellite Warrior, who gets you a 1, 2, 3, 4 pops. So you get an additional pop because you're putting another Synchro Engrave. You have your opponent cannot activate monster effects. You had a Spell and Trap Negate, and you drew a card, and you drew another card of the formula. That's really strong. That's really insane, and all of that is just because the ban list didn't hit this, and the Crystron as well, which is just nuts. And I love it. It makes the deck so much more versatile because you now have 2 combos in this deck that you can rely on, and it allows you to play things like Desires, because then you're not worried about banishing your Ghost or your Apocalypse, because you are playing things like the Gammas. Obviously, that's just all because you are playing the Gammas, which makes Desires less dangerous in the deck, quote unquote. But it gives you another combo to fall upon. If you feel like Satellite War is not enough with the 3 negates, you can at least make the King Calamities. So you have a lot more options for the deck, just because of this one combo. And I do hope you enjoyed this combo as well as the deck profile. So guys, comment, if you enjoy this, I won't demand it of you, but if you did enjoy this, it would be appreciated if you commented, and subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys are playing in DDD. There's another cool build that I found here on YouTube that merges a DD engine in Unchained. That's something I'm just going to toy around with just for fun. Lets me use Stone King Darius, which is awesome, which is nice. So as always guys, if you enjoyed this, comment and subscribe. Stay safe and happy dueling.